Where are you currently at on Jalen Hurts? Because I remember you came on, when we were at the Hall of Fame, and you basically said, hey, last year he didn't play like a top half of the league quarterback, and we kind of gave you hell for it, and then, promptly got you off the show. And then a couple weeks later on Get Up, I believe you said that, him and Sirianni are like the modern day Belichick and Brady.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people didn't listen to what you said. They just said, this guy said he sucked last year, and now he's calling him Tom Brady 2 weeks later. So they were like, Dano's a moron.
Yeah, you kind of got out of context quoted pretty good there.
You did. And
By your own show.
That's neither here nor there. That's going to happen. But
used to it.
Obviously, Jalen, he hasn't really been filling up the stat sheet like crazy, but they continue to win. Where are you on Jalen Hurts right now?
Yeah, so I feel the same that I did about his performance last season. And then the reason why I said the Belichick Brady thing was it was in relation to their style of just whatever it takes to win, like the obsession, no noise, hyper focus, all that. So I think like this. Week one, I thought he was tremendous because it was what the defense was giving him the opportunity to do. And it basically pitched a perfect game. And then when I watched week two, I don't think there was a ton more that he could have done with the football. I just right now, their pass game through 2 weeks. So I'm not burning it up, but they ran the same route with A.J. Brown 10 times from the same location. And there's a beauty in this, of doing the simple stuff. And I can appreciate that. Hey, our guy, we're going to line up and we're going to run the same route and stop it.
No, it's happening again. It's happening again.
Yep.
They just beat the Chiefs, and people are calling for people to be fired.
Oh, yeah, they want this OC fired.
No, I'm not calling for anyone to be fired.
You're just saying, hey, this guy's running the same route from the same place 10 times.
It's a fact, though. It's a fact. So, if we're sitting there dissecting maybe why the stat sheet's not getting filled up, or you're not throwing for 300. You got one of the best receivers in football, and 10 times in that game, he runs up 5 yards and breaks in. So, there's a predictability element of that. And there's also okay, we completed. We got 8 yards, and so there's just that.
Stink.
Yeah,
but you're not.
Never go broke making a profit, brother. Never see the red if you only take green.
That's right.
Peyton went to the Hall of Fame off that Indy route.
The Chiefs have been back to the Super Bowl.
But I get Dan's point, though. It's for a defense, and the Chiefs had – I think they held the Eagles to their lowest output since 2021 or something like that. But
Come on!
You lost the game, so that's the big thing. But when you're coming into you have a weapon like A.J. Brown, you have a $30 million a year wide receiver, and he's been doing and saying all the right things. So kudos to him. But you want to have some type of mystery with where number 11 is going to be, where number 6 is going to be, how they're going to use them. Like Justin Jefferson, slow start this year, young quarterback, but 18 is going to be moving all around. It's tough to game. We talked about it with Tyler Warren. It's tough to game plan. We know coming. This is a big problem in the pass game, but where the hell is he going to be? How are they going to use him this week? How are they going to use him in the
It's
red
also
area?
D-Bud, if you're killing them, if you're killing them with it, keep doing it. It's just their offense from last year to a point hey, they keep running the football. Well, no one was stopping the run. And then in the Super Bowl, we're going to stop the run. Well, we're just going to throw vertical routes to AJ and Devontae. And so, if you're killing the defense, not a big problem. But when your offense maybe isn't firing on all cylinders and you're not playing the way that you maybe want to, or you're not as successful doing so, then I think that you're trying to figure out the why. The why would be I have notes here: right decision, right decision, right decision, right decision. I could pick and even their runs that they scored on. I think those were for the most part the same formation and same action. AQ they put formation in the boundary and we ran weak counter, weak zone. So it's it worked, but you can play better.
Understandable. Last year, Sirianni beats the Saints down in New Orleans. Everybody's calling for his job the next day. Mm-hmm. They get another win the next week. Everybody's calling for his job the next day. They get another win the next week. Everybody's calling for his job the next day.
Yep.
That offense coordinator is oh, now it's me because you want Super Bowl. And with that being said, feels like everybody feels the same way about this offense coordinator. Maybe this offense coordinator looks in the mirror like Dan Campbell did after that first game, whenever the reporter says to him, couldn't in theory you have run last year's offense and had success? It looked nothing like last year. What do you mean, man? And No motions, no shifts, no. It was just boring. It was lame.
Sucked.
It was terrible, basically, is what this reporter says. And he goes, go see what we did on the road. Dan, gets kind of offended. Then you just talked about their offense this week. Shifts, motions everywhere. Dan clearly on the board.
Yeah.
This is our shit.
Yeah. A lot of shifts, a lot of motions, okay?
Need it. Fuck this guy. Yeah. Whoever the reporter was. You could do that if you're the OC, right? In theory. Could change the way he goes about calling plays, designing plays.
Yeah, it's still early. We were week 2, and you're winning games. And to Dan's point, making the right decision. That's what it comes down to, playing quarterback. That's what Jalen Hurts has done. I think this is, 16 straight games where he started, including the playoffs, where he started and won. So if you're making the right decision, you got, 130 yards passing or 80 yards passing or whatever it is, talking shit to Chris Jones or Chris Jones talking shit to him. That's all. If you're down in victory formation at the end of the game, nobody cares what – well, Jalen Hurts doesn't care what the stat sheet, because there are some quarterbacks who they come into their locker room after the game and they only have 190 yards passing. They don't feel great. They want to be the reason why and the reason that team is where they are. Jalen Hurts, that's not hasn't been his motive since coming into the league, and I'm sure Eagles fans are fine with that. But fantasy. Betters, people want to see points.
A lot of people
want to see A.J. Brown doing different routes.
Yeah. I drafted A.J. Brown in the second round. Why is he scoring?
I got Big Batman. You got to run 5 yards, okay? Send the cape down the goddamn field a couple of times here. Yeah, I understand.
Find out the modern day Belichick and Brady. Because Brady,
don't care.
He will hand it off 47 times. We were part of it. What was it? Garrett Blunt. Yeah. Jonah Gray, it didn't matter.
Still running.
Still running. Boom. Yeah, still running.
Still running. Garrett Blunt is still running. I actually see him from the sideline, watching him just run from my right chin, shoulder to shoulder. From right chin, shoulder to shoulder, all the way to left chin, shoulder. It was chin, shoulder to shoulder. Garrett Blunt. A couple times. Maybe the other way, too.
Yeah, Geezy was a good dude. There was a stat a week or two ago that Brady is second or third all time with wins when he's thrown for less than 150 yards or something.
I believe
it's
not. Aaron's probably close. Aaron's probably close too. Aaron Rodgers will hand that thing off.
Oh yeah,
no problem at all. Every time his MVP conversation started, a couple years back, people were like, "Look at his stats. Look at his stats. Look at his stats." It's did they win the game or they did win the game? That's all he cares about. If the right call here is running the ball. Tom Brady, same thing. Now Peyton. I believe the best option is through the sky.
We're not going to win if I don't throw for 500 today.
Now, on that note, Super Bowl, you got Joseph Adai, Dahn Rhodes going crazy in there, and Peyton continued to, let's go ahead and do this, and it opens up to Reggie.
Both Super Bowls.
Yeah, and
Broncos
Joseph, yeah, definitely. That's
When he won his Super Bowl with the Broncos, he had 143 passing yards and 2 picks.
Yeah, I think
who was the back? Who was the running back?
Sean Marino.
Is that Sean? Yeah.
I think personally, the quarterbacks that are very good understand, hey, this run game's only better for me, brother. This is because now everything is here, and we're getting ones on the outside, which leads to AQ's questions. Because they thought we were a question. We thought there was going to be a ground and pound kind of resurgence in this all. And stats aren't saying that's the case, AQ.
No, we talked about it earlier, Dan. We saw that run game is down this year. And the question that I have for you, are you seeing anything specific on tape, or is it a combination of things that you see from defenses?
Yes, yes. Dang it. I'm in a tough spot right now, AQ, because I like to figure stuff out and hold it. So I would tell you this. I think that there's a trend going on.
Shut up.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
I think, listen,
people didn't see you because the stat was on the full screen. Dan had on this back screen. Yeah. As AQ was saying that, he had a full. It looked like daughter. My daughter did one of these.
I want to say this first.
Yes, that's my win. That's our wins. That's the competitiveness. So let me answer it, okay? I think I would tell you, I think some of the things that are attached to the run game being down are, I don't think that we have a ton of backs right now with great vision in the league. I think that there's backs that are missing holes at times. And I don't know if this is because gun run track is different than under center run track, and the way that back sees it, the spacing and timing behind some offensive linemen. I think some of the teams that we've seen be very successful over the past couple years in the NFL are dealing with that right now, with just a lack of kind of that necessary vision from their backs. So that's part of it. I also think, and I sent a tweet out, AQ, the other day, is like, there's a lot of commonalities between the offenses that are performing well and a lot of commonalities between the offenses that are struggling. I think one of the things that is a standout in the NFL through 2 weeks, and I'm getting ahead of it right now.
Getting ahead of it.
Because I don't want anyone else to think of it.
Too late, you're behind.
Please, what are you
bitch.
thinking? No, AQ's got his multiples.
Yep.
What is yours?
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Pepper, by the way, the official drink of Thunder.
Love you, Doc.
Yeah.
Taste
Listen, we've talked about for a couple years now, quarterbacks underneath the center. I think that's a commonality between the offenses through 2 weeks that have played well. I think the offenses that are being aggressive on first down and play action, not just drop back, play action. Those are the offenses that are performing well. And I think the teams that are willing to play with two or more tight ends on the field on early downs are the teams offensively that are performing well.
Way to go. Way to get ahead of that one. That one's yours. That's Dan Orlovsky.
TM.
I need 12 personnel, says Dano here in 2025. I need at least
12 or more.
I need at least 2 tight ends on the field for this. I need people going to center. Rich Rodriguez heard you loud and clear. I don't know if he stole it from you, but I am appreciative that you thought of that ahead of time. I can't wait to see your full report on that. You're the man, Dano.